doing?
Hey, it's like this. Fine.
Better.
Better, yeah, much better. What happened with your hair?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Just
got
It's a new
his
style.
own
It's a new
idea.
style.
Oh, Stefan is here.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to join. I thought the project sounded very interesting. Just wanted to have a look. So
Yeah,
if
that's
it's no problem.
Absolutely,
good.
there is no problem. And also, you can have some question at the end of the presentation soon.
Yes, I might have to drop out a little bit earlier, but we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, okay, all right. So how you doing, Mariano and Augustine?
Very well.
We're very well, yeah.
How about you,
Yeah,
Isaac?
you see, yeah, I'm doing great. I bet you see Il Campione every day.
Yeah.
every day now and then.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Isaac?
Yeah, I'm from Algeria.
From Algeria.
Algeria with A at the beginning,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Yeah, we
Nigeria.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Russia. You can tell from the face. Just kidding.
Давай.
Yeah,
Давай.
yeah.
Yeah.
Я не говорю по-русски.
Yeah, Davidovsky.
I don't speak Russian. It's my family always speak Chinese.
I only know how to say I don't speak Russian in Russian, actually. It's a good phrase.
That's fine.
And also Steven is from Germany, so
Okay.
What does the phrase mean?
Я не говорит по-русски. It's I don't speak Russian.
Oh, yeah. So
Ah.
Russian.
So can we start the workshop?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
sure.
start. As usual, we have a opening. I think you you remember this opening also.
Yeah, we already did that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's still doing it. Hi guys, welcome to Hack-nostr-on workshop. A Hack-nostr-on is hosted by Yakihon and sponsored by DoraHacks, which aims to encourage more ideas, applications, and problem solving. And Yakihon is a Nostr-based decentralized content media protocol, which supports free curation, creation, publishing, and reporting by various medias. And about DoraHacks, it's a global hackathon organizer and one of the world's most active developer incentive platforms. It creates a global hacker movement and provides toolkits to help developers around the world to team up and fund their ideas and builds via hackathons, bounties, grants, and more. And today we still have our co-host, Isaac, and let's welcome Isaac, and let's Isaac introduce today's build.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome again for Augustine and Mariano for the second workshop. So we have today one of the submissions, which is a client project they have submitted. So it is really interesting to have this kind of types of projects. So this project is like it's an open source SDK for communities that enables rapid outbounding of users to their subnet stack with no technical knowledge required. So this project streamlines the process of setting up the personal nodes with Bitcoin, Lightning, owned clouds, Nostr relays, and more through a simple step-by-step guiding. So I hope I did a great general resume of the project. So again, I would like to welcome Augustine and Mariano. So we guys encourage you to, if anyone has any more questions, to comment down below on the live stream. We will ask them in front instead of you. So we will have also some questions at the end of the presentation. So good luck with that. I hope I get more knowledge from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe we can start sharing the screen. First of all, we would like to thank you all guys
Yeah.
to having.
Thanks for having us again.
Again.
Here with you.
Maybe you're tired of seeing us. Yeah, again.
No, 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 no. We just always welcome you guys because the amount of knowledge you spread and the techniques, the projects you having, guys. So I thank you for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you. And we could do weekly if you're willing to.
Yeah.
Let's make it
It's
a weekly,
actually really
weekly
fun
thing.
for us.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, do you see this, guys?
Yeah, we can see.
Cool.
Great. So today we have HODL.ar. Okay, we're gonna present this project, which is in the track of client as well, as Isaac said. So first of all, okay, we're gonna talk about the background. We already did this in the other presentation, but we need to do this again. So we are present in the Bitcoin ecosystem like 10 years ago. Actually, we are blockchain developers. We did a lot of projects related in Polygon, Ethereum. We did gateways, like feeless transactions. We've been in the industry like 4 years ago. So combined, we actually don't take this as a hobby. We actually, this is our job. Like,
Yeah.
like we are dedicating at least 10 to 12 hours a day working for this. And we dedicate our time because we are passionate on this, and we are in La Crypta. We are founders of La Crypta, which is a community-driven development hub. I think it took a long time to
get to a definition of
to
what
get the
crypto
cool
was.
definition. Yes, because it started like a hobby, but once we started developing, and a lot of people just started joining in, we said, okay, we can do this. So now these are part of the things we're coming, and this hackathon, it's a very good opportunity to make ourselves motivated and start development. So let's start with what is HODL. This would be our motto. This is like HODL is empowering communities one node at a time. Okay, so we take this from this approach. Like our mission is to create as many sovereign individuals as possible. And we're gonna do this one community at a time. We first of all, we would like to clarify, or at least the definition we consider to be a sovereign individual. So there's already a sovereign individual stack already in the wild.
Sovereign stack.
Exactly, yeah, the sovereign stack. So what does that mean? At least for us and most of the people in the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Nostr ecosystem as well. So it means you own your own money. You do have a control of your own money to not be debased and to be sure that it's secure. You need to own your data, your own social data, actually your social identity. And you value privacy and security. Those should be like the principal values of a sovereign individual. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically being certain that you have the capabilities and the opportunities to build your own future for yourself. In a way, you're the author of your story. Nobody writes that for you. Nobody conditions that for you.
Exactly. So as Bitcoiners, we really value that, and we appreciate all the Nostr community that I think we got all that in common.
Yep.
So, okay, I think everybody is familiar with Don't Trust Verify, which is like our religion, kind of. I don't know if you're familiar with Jimmy's song, that he's quite a promoter of this. He claims himself as he's not toxic enough about that. And we think it's a really important thing to do, to always defend this idea, which is like a very strong idea to be able to don't trust and verify yourself.
Yeah, it's like the motto we went around with is don't trust, verify. This is the lemma of the sovereign individual in a way. We do not need to trust. We may, but we don't need to. We always have a way of verifying what we're being told.
Exactly. So you should be able to verify all the stuff, like all the code, all the things you need to do, all the tools. You should have the enough knowledge to know what you're doing, and that's some great stuff. But my grandpa is not such a good developer. Like I don't know your grandpa, but And we say grandpa just to make fun, but you could say your father. Actually, my parents are 67 years old. They are not that tech savvy.
Nope.
They depend on us on a lot of stuff, even though they could have a hardware wallet. We explained Bitcoin 100 times, but sometimes they depend on us. Like there's a generation that they probably would need us the whole time
For the rest of their lives.
for the rest of their lives, and
Yeah.
and this is not just for Bitcoin. They even
To
just
use the printer.
they have to reuse the printer, or sometimes to they lose their passwords. Sometimes I have to remember their passwords because they lose it all the time. And there's a generation that will need us. They depend on us.
Yeah, but also this is not just a generational issue. There's also the issue of education gap and formation gap. And maybe some 20-year-old doesn't know how to dwell into Bitcoin or into the sovereign mindscape, so to speak. So although we may make fun of the generational aspect of it, it transcends generational barriers.
Yeah, it's more than that. We have a lot of like we said, we have like 10 years experience on this, and sometimes it happens that most of the people don't have enough interest to make their own research,
or time or resources, or
exactly. And even though we say like don't trust, verify, which is a really cool thing to promote, they do have to trust somehow, because they do have to trust you to recommend a wallet that you claim it's self-custodial or whatever you say. They need to trust at least the information you gave them to do. So we think like friends and family are one of the things that counts. So who's gonna hold your hand then? You think that exchanges will? Like, we don't think so. And this is not a bad thing for exchanges. That's their business.
Yeah, it's just not within their business model to educate you on how to become sovereign. Their business model just goes somewhere else. It's not in their interest.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not the business model, and it's good for that. We consider exchanges like, I don't know, yeah, gateways. Sometimes I say like necessary evil, and it looks like bad, but just I say that because I think it's really important I remember once that they told me like exchanges are like public restrooms, because you need to make your business there and just get out. So that's kind of the thing that they do, and I think they are quite necessary. They are the bridges, they are the gateways. Those they do provide a lot of research, a lot of knowledge, and I think those are good. Actually, we funded an exchange, a Bitcoin exchange, 10 years ago back then. So we do believe that those are necessary, but it's not the business model. I don't think that they're gonna provide education to make people become sovereign. So they depend on people having those custodial services, and that's fine. So friends and family, that's great. That's great. I think friends and family, as we said, it's the most common.
It's the most direct way. Like,
exactly.
If you don't know how to do something, you just hit up your brother and say, hey, I don't know how to do this, or your mother or your father or whoever just hits you up and, oh, you're into computers, can you configure my Wi-Fi? And it's normal.
Exactly.
But there are problems with that.
Yeah, like it doesn't scale, okay? It doesn't scale.
Yeah.
So we like to present another perspective. Like I think the communities are for the win. Communities are the way to go. So what are communities then? So why communities? So communities
Communities have certain qualities that make them especially good for holding your hand during this whole process. Okay, so you build a community in a very tight-knit way via shared values, shared norms. We choose to be part of these communities. So there's already an in there. Most communities share a common language. Now in the internet, English is lingua franca, but different local communities will share will express themselves in their local language. They feel represented, they feel they belong to that community.
Kind of identity, they have the common problems, a
common problem and a common goal. And that fosters education, mentorship. You get literally your hand held whilst being in a community. And that develops into a very healthy support system. We're talking about healthy community, toxic communities are out of the window. A very healthy support system that allows you to kind of use the community or look at the community as a sort of distributed support center. So to speak, like people are willing to help you there.
Exactly. Yeah, most people are friendly. That they do want to help. Sometimes when girls come in, you have a lot of mansplaining as well. Yeah, but what happens with support is like every bull run, every Bitcoiner knows this. We get like hundreds of messages of people trying to get help or get some information because they didn't do the research enough. And this I don't think it has a very easy solution for this, because as we told you, there are a lot of years coming by and the people behave the same way. So some people they don't have the interest to do it. Okay, they rely on people that they do trust and think they do have a lot more knowledge for that. So how can we do this? So what's the stack? Okay, so how are we gonna do this? The stack is, as we said, we need Bitcoin for the money, Lightning for store of value. Okay, yeah, for store of value. Lightning would be to extend Bitcoin to be able to scale and to do all the transactions like instantly. Nostr for the social media platform, and actually like Nostr, when the time comes, like every day we see Nostr as more powerful that it looks it's intended for. Okay, it's more than a social media.
It's much more than just
much more like,
social media. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, and your own cloud. We didn't talk about like your own cloud requires like a lot of different setups and different things. So we are not gonna dig on that. We're gonna.
But the idea being that you need to own your digital persona, and your digital persona in this case means your assets, the way to transfer your assets, your social aspect, but also kind of the infrastructure aspect. That's what we mean by your own cloud.
Exactly. So then we already got that covered in a pack. This is a bundle. I don't know if you're familiar with Umbrel, but Umbrel does a very good job on this. You got Umbrel, you got a fork of Umbrel that is called, I don't know, Citadel as well. There are a lot of other options, but we chose Umbrel specifically because it's open source. And what it contains is a Bitcoin core. Okay, it has the Bitcoin node running, an NND node, which is a Lightning node, LNbits, which is a very, very good wallet management software. Everything is open source. This is the beauty of this. They are easy to set up, and you had Nostrum, which is the biggest and most used the de facto standard. Actually, it's written in TypeScript as well. You have you have a ton of other stuff.
Marketplace, a whole marketplace,
exactly.
An app store.
Operating system. Actually, one is Cami is here. Just is part of the community. She doesn't have any development, any technical knowledge whatsoever, and she managed to be able to install Umbrel. Yeah, it's really easy to do. So why would we would pick it? It's easy to set up. As we said, it's just a couple of minutes to do. It's fully synced. You get the Bitcoin blockchain synced in just 1 week. You have a full crypto stack with everything you need, and they do a very good effort to keep everything updated. You have all the tools updated, and everything that comes, that you just fix it right away. So, and the best thing is self-custodial solution. All the tools they include, those are like really oriented, like what we sell with the motto, don't trust, verify. They do a great job to make sure it complies with that. And it's cheap. Like it's the cheapest you can get. You have a Raspberry Pi with 2 terabytes.
With an SSD and just building the Raspberry Pi, the SSD setup and all that, that will just set you back like $200.
Yeah, kind of. Even in Argentina, with all the custom restrictions.
$200, it's a number, but it's not a huge number.
Exactly. Yes. So what's the ideal plan? Well, the ideal plan would be to have one umbrella, one person, okay, one umbrella per person. That would be excellent. Like the ideal world that nobody's trusting, everybody's verifying, like sovereign individual, everybody. That would be excellent. Okay, but it's not a good practical plan. We already mentioned this.
Yeah, people are not everyone is willing to, either be set back $200 or put in the effort of setting up, although it's really, really easy, putting in the effort and actually managing Umbrel is not something everyone wants to do, the same way that, I don't know, you don't want to run your own cell phone company. It's pretty much the same.
It won't happen. So that is where HODL comes in. Okay, we think the better way to make this is to have a community kit. It's via, like we said, like HODL is a community SDK, which we're going to provide an SDK, an open source SDK for communities to be able to create HODL. So to be able to replicate HODL. HODL, it's not only the community SDK, but actually it's
like the white label.
Exactly. It's a white label. It's the first use case you can just say, okay, how would you build a community? How does it work? So the communities will be making all the onboarding process. So how does that look like? Okay. So HODL would be like the first example running. Okay. So what would be the user journey? How would it look like? So first of all,
no,
go ahead.
You go.
Okay, so you'll have your public website. Okay, the first thing you're gonna do is you have your own website, which be custodial because will be hosted by us. But you can get, like, we design the whole process to be able to handle users with no knowledge, no technical knowledge, and be as easy as possible.
Very low friction.
Exactly. And we even design like the rewards in the middle, that the people know that they can spend a little time and get their instant reward. So the instant reward will be just get a public website, which is very easy. Then you got a Lightning wallet, which will be custodial. You could be a Nostr account with Alvi extension. Then you're going to have a private dashboard with all your stuff there, would be private. Okay. You will get a mobile web app that you can export and have in your cell phone. Then you will get your public and private website self-hosted, which means that you will be able to host everything. Everything is open source, as we mentioned, and you will be able to handle those in your own server. And lastly, hang on, because I don't see. Okay. And lastly, you will be able to have your private node. Okay. So the community will make all the efforts to you make all the steps to become a sovereign individual. Okay.
Now you may notice that the very first steps in here are custodial. That's not very sovereign at all. But the idea here is to leverage, to balance sovereignty, which is our end goal, with low friction and insertion and onboarding, which is also one of our goals. So having a custodial website or wallet or whatever, it's actually the easiest way. We require the least amount of effort from non-technical savvy users in order to onboard them into Nostr, into Bitcoin, into Lightning. So the idea would be you pick it up, you pick up HODL, and you start moving through this flow, so to speak, and you become more self-reliant with each step you take. Now, we do not expect everyone to be running their own Bitcoin node. It's
as we said, it's not expected.
We actually do expect to have a lot of fall through in some of these stages. Like people would just go, okay, so I have a private dashboard, I'm good. I don't want to follow on with this, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough for most of the people.
Yeah, okay. Everybody has their own pace they can do this in. So the general idea is to start with a very low friction custodial solution, and eventually we keep holding your hand through the whole thing, and eventually we just let you go and you know how to walk by yourself.
Exactly. So hang on. So we wanted to talk about like crypto. We already have a community here. We have Argentinians and Venezuelans, like Venezuelans living in Argentina. We didn't plan this. This is actually natural. This just happens because we have a lot in common. So what do we have in common? Why do we have like Argentinians and Venezuelans in the same community? So well, like we got inflation, okay? Like this is the top 20 countries that would had inflation in 2022. This is actually up there, and this is not updated actually. We got more in Argentina. I think
3-digit inflation now.
Yeah, I think we are champions. I think we are trying to compete with Zimbabwe, okay? Venezuela is the champion of this. So this is actually what we said about.
This is our shared reality.
Exactly.
With our brothers from Venezuela.
Yeah, and that happens like it's a subject of conversation. This is what we talked about with the communities. We have that in common. We have the same common problem with the problem of not being sovereign, at least with your money, okay? This is a reality for most of us. The crypto in the world, so Argentina is second here. Turkey does have, like we said, a lot of inflation problem as well. So crypto is a safe haven for most of these kind of countries. That's why crypto is becoming so popular in this kind of population. So then, we already have a picture of why we do need this.
How we're going to do it.
How we're going to do it. So we're going to start with the process, at least just
we're going to show you what it would look like.
Exactly.
So, like from a bird's eye perspective, and then we're going to go a bit deeper down and show you like an actual user journey.
Sorry.
Nice.
Stephen.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe it was
sorry. My dog is barking.
Oh no.
I was
Okay.
just inflation.
No worries. Okay, then we're gonna go with the onboarding process. How does it look like? So we thought about coming with the social networks. Okay, we're gonna provide the support for all social networks, but we're gonna present the example of just GitHub. Okay.
Yeah, the idea here being that everybody already has a social presence in normal social networks, normal, I mean custodial social networks, and what we want to do is kind of hack into that already existing reality and say, okay, so you have that, you have your Twitter account, your GitHub account, or whatever. Okay, come over here. I'm gonna show you greener pastures.
Exactly. So every social network will have a different and custom onboarding process. Yeah, the flow will be different. So in this case, we're going to present for GitHub. It would be as easy. We already have this, as easy as forking a repo. You have a repo, you just fork it. It's just one click, and then you have to edit a config file, which it takes no more than 45 seconds. Okay, you're gonna.
It's really easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. We took a lot of effort to make the user as easy as possible. So then the onboarding will look like this. As we said, you're going to have a repo, which is actually .HODL.ar. This, we made it on purpose because we think that we give the opportunities for communities to be able to have this handle. This already happens in Web3 communities, which they have .eth. Those would make you like feel that maybe
you belong.
Yeah, exactly. That's this belonging feeling. So anybody could just access your GitHub account and see you're part of it because they know you already forked it. And then you're gonna have a link to have an instant GitHub subdomain. Okay. So it looks exactly like this. Whenever you fork, you get instant domain instantly. So how does the simple config looks like? The simple config, as we said,
it's really, really simple. It's embarrassingly simple. You just edit your YAML file, and you don't even need to download an editor or anything like that. You can just edit this online within GitHub itself. And the idea being, you just go there, you change your name, your links, or whatever config you want, and that automatically gets reflected in this custodial web page that we make available for you.
Exactly. We actually test this in our community, as we said, like with people with the no development knowledge, and they managed to get this. Actually, they got excited because they felt like programmers. We show them that it's not that difficult to have a repo. They get a lot of notion. As we said, we want to make the whole journey so they can just experience what is a repo, actually, what does open source even means. So this gets some sense of that. So when you get that, you make a verification process. Once you get everything set up, that it shouldn't take more than 2 minutes, really. We tested this ourselves with our own custom workshop.
Yeah, actually, the hardest part of our workshops was not the HODL part, but rather creating a GitHub account.
Yeah, actually, most people had trouble with that. Actually,
it's surprisingly difficult. Actually,
because you can connect with the other social networks, but as we said, we will have like different
flows,
different flows for different social networks. So here you would just verify yourself. So you will claim your handle, okay? Your handle will mean your own unique username, that you will get your own subdomain. You get your own NIP05, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
it's your handle, your Nostr handle.
Exactly, and your lightning address with LUD06 and LUD16. Those are lightning addresses, which they are similar like emails. So you can use, exactly. You can sub between you, and you have like, it's very easy. I love those. Like lightning addresses are a very cool thing. And it's actually a very nice thing to have with NIP. Like, it's beautiful. So then you not only will you have like a public front, okay, the one you will set just 2 minutes, just to picture this. These are just 2 minutes long. So
this is the result of investing 2 minutes of your life.
Exactly. The verification process, when you have to, at least you have to think for the username, it could take like 25 seconds more, but it's really easy. So then you will have, once you verify your account, you will get your own private dashboard, okay? Your own private dashboard has a wallet on this, and it works with the same rendering engine as the public, okay?
So here's the thing. None of what you're seeing here is particularly new, because what you see is what you would expect to see anyways. What's novel, perhaps, about this approach is the way in which you're seeing it. Like Agustin just mentioned, the rendering engine. Okay, so you're going to see how that gets configured and how an end user with no technical experience, and I want to stress that no technical experience whatsoever, is able to build their own experience.
Yeah. If she wasn't so shy, she's actually in the conversation. She would definitely say, it's not that she did understand all the configs. So
Camila, we mean
Camila, Camila.
She's present in this.
Actually, in there, exactly. So how does the config looks like for this? So every block you see there, it's built with this. Like you have blocks here. This is YAML config, which is very readable, easier to understand. And for beginners, it's actually amazing because you're able to put. We tried JSON actually, but as you have a lot of parsing errors.
Picky.
Exactly. We made some research and testing actually for this. So even we do prefer JSON actually, but YAML is much more readable. You have comments on, and it's easy to understand for the user. So this would be, you have your blocks here, you have your type. Those types are buttons. So all those are buttons. The properties are custom for any kind of type, For this case, you have properties that are defined specifically for the button. So this is easy to set up. This is, okay. So the dashboard.
This is like the private part.
Exactly.
the dashboard. This is what you again, you also get this like by default. But the noble part of this is that you can get to choose what you see. In here you see your balance, your activity, and perhaps a send and receive button, and that's that. But you may change that. You may even have what you're seeing there as the last block, like a sort of meta block that contains new blocks within it. So all of this flexibility is made available to the end user, which again is not tech savvy. It's not a tech savvy end user, and they are able to, quote unquote, feel like they're programming, feel like they're progressing, feel like they get the hold of their experience, so to speak, with very, very little effort put up front.
Exactly.
So that's again, that's our main mantra, perhaps. Like, we need a very low friction insertion into the crypto and sovereign world.
Exactly. As he said, like, people will be able to create those things like really fast. They can just see their own work immediately rendered. So this is just an example for a wallet. This will be the default one, but as you can see, you could just put messages. Everything is compatible with Nostr, so even you could create your own client if you wanted to. You could create your own, like, WhatsApp running with Nostr, just taking a component. So components will keep coming, and you will create your own dashboard with your badges or whatever you like. So the first use case would be those components that become available for the wallets, balance, activity, and
these components we make available. We code them and we make them available. But that's a bit too restrictive, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens if you want to, like, create your own components? You're welcome to do though. You got custom components.
You get custom components, and the idea here is that you're not only welcome to do so, we don't even want to host them. Like,
Exactly.
we don't want to be the ones hosting your code, not because we have a problem with that. I mean, we're fine with that, but we don't want you to trust us. You don't need to trust us. You can just, again, be sovereign and run your component up, not run your component, but code your component and send that over as a Nostr event. We're not mix and matching our other proposal of validators with this. This is a completely different thing. You just send a note with, you know, a piece of JavaScript code there, and then that's that. No big deal. But the thing is that we don't host that. The Nostr network does. And you're free to just create a new block that says, hey, I really, really like that component. I want to have that in my dashboard. So you just send the batch 32 an event address, and our rendering engine will look at that and say, hey, that looks like a Nostr event. Let's pick that up and render that in the way it's supposed to. Now, that does have a lot of challenges that need to be solved, certainly.
Security aspects.
Security aspects, like the most important of them all. But we do believe in leveraging what we said at the very beginning of leveraging community support. So you would have a sort of marketplace where you would have all of these components, and they would be ranked, and you can just leverage community, NIP05, and you get what your community curates for you.
Exactly. So then we got, this would be the like development roadmap for HODL. First of all, as we mentioned, we need to design the onboarding process, which is like mostly done actually. Like, we have to define the config structure. We already did that. We have the block rendering, which is like, it's a constant development because we always gonna provide new blocks to the community. We got the social network onboarding, as we said. We have the HODL provider support, you know, like the backend. We have a Bitcoin node, we have a Lightning node, LNB bits, and everything we mentioned as a sovereign stack.
And a relay.
And a relay, of course. Yeah, we already have a relay, which we're not gonna talk about here, but it's we did a cool. Actually, we thought to compete with the relay track because we are doing some cool stuff. But anyway. So you will be able to have a private config which it should be a Nostr event, which be encrypted with your keys. So you will be able to access your own private dashboard with your own private components, with your own private stuff, anywhere in the world with the Nostr hosting it, and encrypted and secure. You will be able to create your custom components and be able to use components from the community. You will be able to have a mobile, like a progressive web app export. So that will be like instant web app, like regular app, native app. And Nostr Connect, which is, it will become a standard that you're gonna have like your own dashboard. You're gonna be able to scan because it's just a single component that has camera as well. So you're gonna be able to scan and be able to connect with Nostr Connect. And this will be like our business model with the services, okay? So,
well, again, the idea is to provide auditing services for these custom blocks. We already see some of this very same business model happening in the wild, perhaps with tools like Figma or custom STLs, stuff like that. So it would basically be the same business model. We'll provide audit services, we'll provide a marketplace for that, and we'll also leverage community support there. The idea being that although that may be our business model, we do not want to hoard the authority behind that. We still respect the community, and we still think community is paramount to our effort. We're just one more member of that community, and we kind of lean on our trajectory and pre-existing knowledge for auditing.
Exactly, and the marketplace could be a really cool thing, because just picture yourself being like just browsing different profiles. You will have those profiles in the community. Actually, this happens right now in La Crypta, that people have their username at their, and you can have it in Twitter as well. Tweet your username at HODL.ar, and you get that identity all over any other social networks, and anybody could just send you subs with Albi, or they can just follow yourself with that. So it's a really cool thing to do, because once you start browsing different profiles, you can pick up different components that people use. And sometimes whenever you get someplace and say, okay, they got a cool component that could be, I don't know, like an assistant, a ChatGPT assistant, that you could just ask him whatever you like, and it could respond. So you could have assistant in different profiles. So the link tree, it's kind of like at least the public part, it will be kind of like a link tree clone that is extensible, and you could that could become an e-commerce actually, if you wanted to.
I mean, it's very, very flexible though. The blocks rendering is very flexible. So although the first iteration of that may be Linktree, because that's what we sense. We did our market research, and here's like, you know, it's the easiest way in again into this sovereign roadmap, so to speak.
Exactly.
So this is our in. This is our foot on the door, so to speak. That will get people on board, and will get people excited to make their own. But that's just the initial step.
And the thing with the community, any community can put their own different directions. If you get a community that, I don't know, that solves or tries to help entrepreneurs, new businesses, maybe they want to make their link tree to go for the e-commerce route, you know?
Yeah, and actually, HODL.ar is just the very first iteration of the SDK. We're not selfish that way. Everything is open source, and we actually would be thrilled to have this SDK used someplace else, like, I don't know, Algeria, perhaps. You get HODL.Algeria.
Algeria.
I don't remember the country code for Algeria. I'm sorry. So
yeah. So wrapping up, okay. We got a community-driven onboarding, as we said. Like, the community will be the one that makes all the effort to make people become self-sovereign, okay, and make all the onboarding, provide all the support. Then we're gonna have an instant wallet you'll have lightning there. You will be able to SAP. We didn't have time to prove it, but we have a roadmap for the different batches and different things you can do to make a proper onboarding.
There's a ton of bells and whistles
exactly
that you can throw in on it. And again, we leverage the fact that we have an already existing Web3 community, and we can really ask them, okay, so what are the guys looking for? So we can leverage that and feedback into our community onboarding flow. So the instant wallet you just get. We actually need one in order to connect with Nostr. So you just get that for free. You just get that by default. Your link tree, you get that by default. That's the easiest way in. You get your own dashboard.
Your own dashboard, and that is quite a massive thing to do, because once you be able to manage your own blocks, you do understand what happens. You manage to get the marketplace. You get, I think the marketplace will be filled with a lot of different applications from different companies. Even so, they're most of the people can start connecting with the different e-commerce places. So as we said, ChatGPT, or just to receive a tip, a SAP or whatever. And people it's like a playground to start making a lot of things. And your personal private user defined dashboard could be your own feed, because you can have a component that just renders your Nostr feed combined with your Twitter feed or whatever you like. So you have infinite possibilities to make your own dashboard.
Yep.
Well, custom components, if you feel free to do it if you are a developer as well, or if you don't, you can experience yourself to manage whatever component you would like to do.
I think that one of the perhaps better aspects of this specific roadmap, entering through GitHub and having you touch your configuration files, that triggers the endorphins loop. Like you change something and immediately changes. You can see the results of that, and that kind of paves the way. Again, not everyone is going to go that way, but that paves the way to understanding. There's no sovereignty without understanding. If you have no understanding of what's going on, you necessarily need to trust some element in that chain. Understanding and realization enables sovereignty, and this is the gateway, quote unquote, gateway drug into sovereignty, into crypto.
Exactly. So people should have self-hosted tag. As we said, everything is open source.
Yeah.
You are welcome to just fork the repo, the rendering engine behind it, and you can just run all the things in your own domain. So that would be the purpose, to have your own domain, or even you feel free to use a subdomain if you would like.
Yep.
But you can host everything yourself. Even you get put Tor on top of it. And the best thing about this is, in the state we are here in Nostr, it would be a very cool playground to just start building components, and people will be able to not only create their own link tree, but also they could create another client if you want. You could create your own iris if you want. Just start building
blocks.
Yeah, just building blocks.
Yeah.
Just put
Baby
one
steps.
block, and then you say, okay, this is my feed, this is my friends, this is whatever you like. You could create your own dashboard, a public dashboard, and whenever someone says, okay, I like it, you just can copy it. So it's a very nice playground to use. The components marketplace just gives this service. We're going to provide a very cool marketplace to be able to notice. You will have ratings, you will have benchmarks. This is where the business model counts, because we're going to provide a service that audits, as we mentioned. We're going to test the components. We're going to benchmark those. We're going to make sure those are secure. So there's a lot coming there that we probably can't imagine now.
We need to leave the door open.
Exactly. So I think that wraps all the idea.
Yeah, that pretty much does it.
So thanks a lot for your attention. You're welcome to ask us whatever you like about it. So feel free to just shoot.
Yeah, hello.
Hey
Thank you
there.
guys for the amazing presentation. I think the idea is pretty much interesting, and awesome. I like to hear more about this project because this time is not enough to handle those informations you're giving us and you're giving for the community. So I think your project is like interesting. I read about it about before the workshop. I read the description you guys made, and at the first sight, it seems like interesting project. So, and after you explained some terms, so I found like it's really helpful for the community. And also, I like the jokes you made on the presentations, like the grandpa thing and the and the and the verify thing. So for the community use, I'm gonna leave the technical and the deep questions for the demo day and for our judges. So so for the newcomers to the live streams, I'm just gonna ask straight and questions you can guys answer to put like some helpful information for the community about this project. So my first question is how does the project aims to empower communities and individuals? So I'm asking those straight. You might guys explain it on the presentation, but I just want to ask the straight questions. So for the purpose of spreading knowledge for the community. So, did you hear my first question, or should I repeat it?
Yeah, how does HODL.ar empower communities?
Yeah,
Like,
voila.
yeah. So HODL.ar is an SDK. Is
Communities and the individuals. So to be specific.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So HODL.ar is an SDK. That means that anyone can just pick it up, like customize it very easily, and then you have your own community starter kit for your community. So that way, HODL.ar empowers communities. You want to build a community, I don't know, in Mongolia, you can. You can just take it and say, okay, HODL Mongolia, and it just works. And it's yours. It's not that we're hosting it. You just clone the code and it works. So that's the way in which HODL empowers communities. The way in which it empowers.
That's the beauty of it. So
yeah, that's we designed it with that in mind. Now, the way in which it empowers individuals is that it sets them on the track towards sovereignty. It sets them on the track of enlightenment, of realization. That's, I think that's the greatest gift in a way. You get the ball rolling, and perhaps you're not going to get to the end of it, but the journey is what matters in a way. And we give you a very low friction path towards sovereign enlightenment, so to speak.
yeah, cool. Very interesting. I'm just so excited for you guys. So I have a couple questions, general questions. Like I said, you might guys really explain it on the presentation, but just to make some clarification for the viewers, for the newcomers to the streams. And I'm gonna ask you a couple questions like straight, and you can answer them individually because they are a bit similar to each other. So what is the role of Bitcoin, Lightning, and on-cloud Nostr relays and more in the project? And the second question is, what is the role of Albi and Lightning wallets, NIP 05 and Load 06 and Low 16 in the project?
Okay, I can answer the second one because it's
Yeah,
more related.
you can just for the community, like you can just answer this question in general, like in short time.
Well, the stack itself,
Yeah,
like it's geared towards, again, sovereignty and being your own verifier. The role of Bitcoin is the greater role of Bitcoin as a store of value. Lightning is a communication of value network. Nostr allows you to own your own social persona. That's the role of each of those technologies. Each of those technologies is specifically geared towards enabling you and empowering you, allowing you to express your sovereignty in one specific dimension. And those are the dimensions we believe are required today to be fully sovereign.
Exactly. And I would like to mention something. We've been in touch with a lot of communities, which they do make people feel like bonded.
Yeah.
And so we value that. So that's why we try to empower communities that way, providing an SDK and the support for all the communities to be able to feel in touch with their own users. You know, sometimes this doesn't happen with a giant brand. This does happen with a community that knows the people by their name, their username. They say good morning every day. We know them in Discord, actually. So this idea came from the most powerful tool we think it would be to make people become self-sovereign with the support of the community. And I think that, yeah, exactly, the closeness, the same common language, as we said, and the same problems, the same things that happen, and people feel related and close to the people that are in the same community as themselves. And the thing that you said about NIP-05 is the one that makes them feel the identity.
Signals pertinence.
Signals pertinence. And actually, we didn't mention this, but actually NIP-05, I think, is a very good thing to combat or try to defend against spam. Because we think that bots are coming, they're right nearby. So I think the best way to defend ourselves from spam would be from communities to have users, make sure that those users do comply for some custom rules they do have. They have to behave. Maybe they don't have to spam people. I think most of the people will be like in communities that do vouch for them.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying this. And my last question is like, what is the purpose of username HODL.ir?
So the purpose there is to just get your username somewhere so that we can create the NIP-05 identity on your behalf. The NIP-05, like when you select a username, you verify your username. What we do is we add that to our well-known JSON file so that people around the world can find you by your handle instead of by your pubkey. It's part of the onboarding process. And as Agustin was saying just now, it gives users a sense of belonging, of being part of this community. And that's pretty much what we want to leverage in the long run.
Actually, let me tell, I am 37 years old. Mariano is 40. And maybe we actually don't value that much, but we are, as we said, we are in touch with the community. Some people with 20 years old, 25 years old, even younger.
They want to be part.
They really want that. They really value that. They really value NFTs. They really value the tokens. They really value the handle. They actually pay for that. So we think that those things are very, they're very they're very important to tackle on, because like all Bitcoiners as us, we are not maxis. We do know this gives a very valuable thing for the communities and sense of belonging, as he said.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. So no more question for me. And furthermore questions are come to in the demo day when you guys live demo the project. So I hope you guys do well on this hackathon, on the after hackathon, because this is what all about, is like making promotion in the hackathon and the after hackathon. So I wish you good luck, and I'm sorry if I ask a lot, just like for spreading knowledge. Thank you, guys. I have no further question. Yufu, you can take it from here.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks, Augustine and Mariano. It's a pretty cool project, and the first one, the second one, and I believe the third one gonna be amazing also. And yeah, I think like Isaac said, that's more questions. Let's keep for the demo day, and for more demo day details, we can have a chat in Telegram later after this finished. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some new plan, and we can check it out. And really thanks. I
also want to encourage the people on the streams, if they have any further more questions for Augustine or Mariano about their projects, you can get in touch in our official event group. So they will be happy to answer you guys for all the information that they'll be providing. So I would like to welcome everyone to join the group and ask them.
Yeah, of course, you're more than welcome to come in and just shoot you any question you have.
Yes, that's pretty cool. And I think
just one question. Tomorrow we have a demo day, right?
Not tomorrow. No, we're scheduled for
next week.
Next week, actually, yeah. On Thursday, I think.
I think if you guys have a chance, I want to invite you to join our tomorrow's demo day, because this workshop is very fantastic. Okay, I will talk to you later.
Please do.
Please do.
Yeah.
Feel free to contact us in Telegram if you want.
Yep.
Oh, there we got a question from the YouTube live. There's could they go deeper about the nature of the components? Is JavaScript, HTML web components for the dashboard, or is a Nostr event? I am confused about that. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's part of future work. We still need to define exactly how we're going to tackle. Now, we have a couple of ideas. One of those is to just, iframe, and you go crazy. You can just throw HTML at it or whatever. That's one way of doing it.
That's one.
Another way of doing it is just throw JavaScript, and we just execute the JavaScript and give you a DOM to just play around with. A third option would be to do something like GTK or some form builder sort of interface that would be much more secure, but it would take much longer to develop. We still are not yet locked into a solution in that regard, but independently of regardless of the actual solution, the delivery method would be through a Nostr event. So whatever solution we end up using, we would use Nostr to host those components in whichever format they are, and we would pick them up from there in order to render them.
Exactly. And if you want to know what's the technology behind that, under the hood, we have React with TypeScript, and we do use Tailwind for the styling. So if you make a component with just React is the most common framework used in the whole world. So we just picked that technology to be able to interface, and it's the community is quite big, and you have a lot of support. So it's becoming a standard for front-end development. But there's a lot of things to discuss.
To define,
exactly.
That's not. It's still a bit green, perhaps. I hope that answers your question.
Whoever you can, YouTube.
Yeah, there's Matthias de Paula. Is that from your community or from?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Matthias. I think if it's the one I know, I think, yeah, Matias Di Polo.
Yeah, Matias Di Paolo. I don't
Okay.
know if
I think I know
pronounced
him.
it
Just
correctly.
reach out to us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
He's
it is.
that's an Argentinian name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, because I saw the Matias, that I got a
Oh yeah, the
yeah,
accent thing.
yes,
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
use those.
yeah. So I think this is all questions for today, and we catch up on Telegram later. And this is all. I think thanks to everyone's attendance, and thanks for Augustine and Mariano's sharing. It's quite great. Yeah, and thanks, Isaac. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank you
Ron,
everyone
for DoraHacks supporting
yeah.
for everyone.
Also, I just want to mention Yakihon is organizing an offline meetings on Miami, and everyone is invited. It's a follow-up to this to this hackathon. So you can find all the details about this meetup in Miami on the Telegram group. You can guys go there and check for the informations and the location of the meetup. And also we have free drinks and free coffee and foods and exclusive to Yakihon. So, and also Yakihon souvenirs. So we welcome everyone to our offline meetup on Miami. So everyone is welcome. And thank you guys for this workshop.
Please do something like that in Argentina.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
We can make a plan for that. Let's co-host it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and because in Miami we hosted the meetup, and I'm thinking maybe I can invite you guys to join our party. I mean online. We use the Zoom, and you can see many famous speakers in the Bitcoin conference. They will
Cool.
many female cool developed OG on Nostra.
Yep.
So I think maybe you can have a online talk. Okay, I will send some messages to the Telegram. Okay, and also
That's fine.
I think if you guys have time, maybe you can join our tomorrow demo day, because tomorrow maybe we have 3 judges, and I really want they know about